Now, conservatives have not spent as much time, maybe in the minority communities, as they should have, but one organization that has, and it's currently in the news, is Planned Parenthood. As you well know, over 70% of their clinics are in minority-based communities. First of all, I know you're outraged by what's been going on with the scandal,
Right.
but do you think this is something that may resonate with the Black community if they hear what's been going on, they see what's been going on?
Well, I certainly hope so, and I hope as they begin to maybe explore the history of Planned Parenthood and Margaret Sanger and some of the attitudes that people had in terms of limiting in our population those people that they felt perhaps were not as contributory to the well-being of our community. Basically, they want to eliminate certain elements, blacks being one of them.
You've been on the campaign trail now for a number of months. A lot of this started out with people saying this guy knows what he's talking about when it comes to health care because he's a doctor, and you stood up on Obamacare. But what are the issues, the top 2 or 3, that you think are most challenging for the country right now?
Well, I think our divisiveness is a huge issue and threatens to destroy us. And I think that there are those who actually stoke the fires of division. And I think our fiscal irresponsibility, it's unbelievable, really. No one can live through this type of irresponsibility for very long. And you know, we think we're doing okay, but I guarantee you, if Greece could print money, they would think they were okay too, but they wouldn't be.
You're a brain surgeon, neurosurgeon, I should say. So I've always wanted to ask you this question. I know a lot of our audience would love to know the answer. How do you explain the liberal brain? How does that work?
Well, I used to have one of them.
Oh, then you'll know better than anybody. That's good.
I used to be a flaming liberal. You know, I grew up in Detroit, a liberal stronghold, went to Yale University, a liberal bastion. You know, came back, lived in Baltimore after being in Ann Arbor, another liberal bastion. And I probably would have continued, you know, to drink the liberal Kool-Aid, except that I started seeing so many people in my practice who were dependent upon the government, who were able-bodied people. And I said, what in the world is going on here? And I started listening to Ronald Reagan, which was a no-no, because as a liberal, you can't possibly listen to anything a Republican has to say. And we were told that they were racist, horrible, bigoted people, that you should steer clear of them. But I started listening to what he was saying, and he didn't sound like any of the things that they were saying. He sounded like a logical person. And, you know, my mind changed. So, you know, it wasn't a diseased brain. It was just a brain that had been fed the wrong material. And you can reprogram it, and that's the good thing. But, you know, the things that I talk about, if you listen to them carefully, they're not really Republican or Democrat things. They're American things. We're talking about America. And there is something very special about this nation. Have you ever noticed that there's something called the American dream? Is there anything called the English dream, or the French dream, or the Nigerian dream, or the Brazilian dream? No, there isn't. There's only an American dream. And if you don't abide by the principles that made us who we are, you're un-American. Can you be un-French, or un-Portuguese, or un-Spanish? No. There is something very special about this country, and we should cherish it, and we should develop it.
Dr. Carson, thank you very much.
Thank you.